The Rojo Rollers are one of the most recognizable teams in Joey's Marble runs, and for good reason. They had a lot of success in 2016, and they finished 6th overall. They nearly won the championship that year, but they were bested by the Savage Spears in the final few events. So what the hell happened that took them from this to this? Well, they went through what I like to call a fall from grace. Although they were not able to hold on to their championship in 2016, there was a lot of reason to be hopeful for the Rojo Rollers. They would seemingly qualify for years to come and be contenders for the overall podium. Unfortunately, things took a rough turn in the qualifiers. The 2017 qualifiers literally could not have gone any worse. After finishing 6th out of 16 in the Marble League on the biggest stage, they finished dead last in the qualifiers, scoring a paltry 1 point per event. However, the Rojo Rollers seemed to be bouncing back in the 2018 qualifiers.
Rojo Quattro just needs to avoid his teammate. Oh, goodness. He will. And that will do it. Rojo Rollers pick up 3 points and are the winners of this group. 8 points to them, 7 for Team Galactic, 6 for Crazy Cat's Eye, and the Chocolatiers get 5. Down they go. Rojo Rollers trying to move as far up the course as they can before they begin to move back down, but they're a trio of Cat's Eyes right in between. 2 by 2 of the Rollers. Down they come, a couple of positions change. Let's see what the times worked out to. So we get a look up there. Oh, 39-99 for the Rojo Rollers. They take the victory in this one over Crazy Cat's Eye.
Rojo Rollers fans must have been celebrating. They knew for a fact after that silver that they were going back to the Marble League. Or so it seemed. They weren't. They missed by a single point to the Crazy Cat's Eyes. And to, at this point, a surprise to absolutely nobody, the 2019 qualifiers didn't go any better. They were not bad, but they still missed by 12 points on the league. The Rojo Rollers were a sinking ship at this point. However, for once, the Rojo Rollers began to show that they can contend again.
Ready for the final. Who gets gold, Hornets or the Rojo Rollers? They almost miss each other in a couple of them, but look at all the ball bearings being sent. There's another one ricocheted off. Rojo Rollers trying to keep those several off to the near side. We'll look it out to the far as these ball bearings start creeping their way across. This could end up deciding the match if these two head for that one Hornet. No, it peels away. Oh, that's very odd. JMRC is actually going to look into that. That was very egregious. Almost changing of directions from those ball bearings. It was almost like they didn't want to hit that Hornet off the board. Usually these are neutral arbiters. Here you can see that turn away from the Hornets.
Even with a rather controversial finish favoring the Hornets, it didn't matter. The Rojo Rollers had at last reached the top of the podium again. Unfortunately, they collapsed in the final event, and they finished 3rd overall. However, this also meant that the Rojo Rollers would be heading to Marbula 1 Season 1. Unfortunately, Marbula 1 Season 1 was just not great for the Rollers. They definitely had their moments, but they only finished 13th overall. Although they were fairly consistent, they just did not have the speed to get medals when they needed it. The Rojo Rollers still had momentum, though. They had proven that they can do decently against the best in the world. 2020 was their year to make it back to the Marble League. Everybody knew it. Unfortunately, that hype was misguided. Even a 13th out of 16 in Marbula 1 Season 1 is definitely better than 19th out of 20 in qualifying. Only the Pinkies did worse. The Rojo Rollers were a sinking ship. However, they showed some promise again in 2021, at least for part of it. After just barely making it through the showdown, although that actually would not matter since the relegation was canceled, everybody knew that the Rojo Rollers would never make it to the Marble League, at least not in a long time. Or so they thought. At last, the Rojo Rollers broke through, and they made the league. And in fact, the Rojo Rollers were the only team in their group to finish in the top 5 in every event, en route to a 4th place finish out of 12, securing a spot in the Marble League for 2021. Unfortunately, things took a rough turn in there. One could definitely make the argument that the 2021 Rojo Rollers were the worst Marble League team of all time. Everything that could have gone wrong for them did go wrong, at least in the first 14 events, which ultimately led to them firing their damn coach.
7/10 clear. Here in heat number 1, the top 4 will advance. Mallard, Yelly, Rojo Uno, and Momo, they go no further. Green Ducks getting some air coming over the finish line. Actually, we're hearing that Rojo Cero, the Rojo Rollers coach, is being called into the manager's office. Another poor performance, and dare I say, might that be the end of the road? Rojo Cero.
However, that only leaves one direction to go for the Rojo Rollers: up. They did well in the final 2 events, finishing 4th both times in soccer and Marble League lacrosse. However, while this team has had its struggles, it's important to remember that they will forever be a part of Marble League history, with their legendary 2016 and legendary falter in 2021. And in the end, while they only really had one season of greatness, was that 1 year fun? Thank you for watching.